We're gonna make a thirst system so you can drink from a clean water and from a dirty one, what will give you actually side effects like 2 times more thirst. So let's get into it. So first things first, I created these 2 ponds, what will have water in it. So let's go to quick add. Let's find a shape, a plane. You can do whatever shape you want, and if you have like a water object or something like that, you can use that as well to make yourself water. So we'll have this one. Let's make it 3 by 3, and let's have a material. If you have a starter content, you should have these 2 waters. I will use the lake one for the clean one. So now let's go to file. Let's go to edit. Sorry. Let's go to project settings. Let's go to all settings and find trace. There should be trace by channel. Create a new trace, call it water, and do block, not block but ignore, just like that. So if you click on the plane, let's rename it to clean water so we know. If we search for collision, there should be collision, right? Go to collision page preset, do a custom collision, open it up, and by default there should be water, and it should by default be ignore, set it to block. So basically what it will do when we do the line trace by channel, it's going to only attack or interact with this one. So now we can actually duplicate the clean water and rename it to dirty water. So as well, this should be water and ignore. And the only change that we will do is change the material to ocean water. So it's a little bit dirtier as you can see. So now create a folder called stats and add an actor component called AC stat system, just like that. Open that up. And we are going to create 2 functions. The first one will be f create widget and f line trace. So let's start with the widget because it's the most easiest. Let's go to user interface, widget, user widget, call it widget stats. Open that up. Let's add the canvas panel like always, and let's add a progress bar, and let's rename this progress bar to thirst bar, and this position will be 100 by 100. So it's quite up to you how you design it, how you make it. So the size will be something like this, a little bit thinner, and the percent, that should be percent, set it to 1. So that's basically it. Of course you can add a different color. Let's add a little bit bluish. Now let's go back and let's create the widget. So create widget, it's the stats, promote that into a variable because we will need it later, and add to viewport. And I will explain why we are doing it in the component, not in the third person, because so I just don't have to cast. So now let's go to third person, add a component called stats, and f create widget, the function that we just created, and plug it in. So if we play, as you can see, we have the progress bar. Now let's do the line trace. First, let's have an input, so click on it. Let's have an input of an actor, and this will be BP third person or first person, whatever. Let's now from execute do line trace by channel. And we are doing it by channel because if you remember, we added the water. Let's draw a debug so we can see for duration. From the actor, get follow camera, or follow camera, yep, this one. Get world location, plug that into the start one. Now from follow camera, get forward vector, multiply that by float, and let's set it to like 1000. From the world location, add the forward vector multiplier. to the end. Bam. Should look like this. Now, return value, have a branch, because we actually have to know if we hit something. From the out hit, let's break that as well. And when it's true, we're gonna do a print string called drinking. Compile. Now let's go to third person and search for a key called E key or F key or whatever key you want. Now let's get the AC stats. And let's do F launch race. Plug it in. Actor will be self. Compile. If we play, press E. You can see it's printing drinking. So you can spam it. But for example, if you go and click on the floor, it's not going to do absolutely nothing. Although it's still drawing the line. But if you go to the water one, it's drinking. So as you can see, it actually works. Now, delete the print string. From hit actor has a tag. Now let's do a branch. So if it's clean, let's do clean water. So if it's true, it's going to print clean water. But if it's false, we're gonna do actor as tag dirty water. Now, basically, you don't have to do a tag for the false one. But for example, if you have that, yeah. But for example, if you have like ocean water, river water, like separate, then you can do like multiple tags. I mean, tags are alright, probably not the most efficient ones, but I really like working with tags. So, and for this one will be dirty water. So copy the tag, click on the clean one, search for tag, hack the tag, and add clean water. Go back, copy the dirty one, click on the dirty one, add a tag, dirty one. So if we play, you can see clean water, and this one is the dirty one. So now we have some sort of separation. What is clean, what is dirty. You can delete the print strings, of course. So that's basically it. Now let's start working with the stats. Let's create a variable called current thirst and max thirst, just like that. These ones will be floats, so let's have floats. And let's create a function called f increase clean thirst. I will just call it clean thirst, I guess. And you can just duplicate it and call it f increase dirty thirst. So we're gonna do it like this. So for the clean one, it's going to be really simple. So we're gonna have get the current thirst if it's greater than or equal to the max one. And just remember to set the thirst as well. So set it to 100 and 100. Now not boolean. So if it's not, and branch it up just like that. So now from the true, set the current thirst, add to the current thirst. The b value will go into the input. So let's call it increase thirst, just like that. Or increase clean thirst, whatever. Now for the false one, it will be set the current thirst to the max one. And now will come the check or the percent. Now will come the percent, so get the stats, video blueprint stats, get thirst bar that we created, and set percent. So this is how you set the percent and not bind it, I guess. And the percent will be divide by the current thirst, so just plug it in right there, to the max one, just like that. Now let's have another branch, and this will be if the current thirst is greater than or equal to the max one, and just plug it in. And if it's true, we set the current thirst to the max one. Bam. Just like this. So now let's go into our event graph. At begin play, let's do a delay 0.2, that will do. And get the widget blueprint stats, get thirst bar, set percent, and once again, let's divide the current thirst to the max thirst. So why we are doing this at begin play is because, for example, if you set the current thirst to 50, and if we play, you can see it actually sets to 50. But if we do not have this function, so we unhook it, and if we play, you can see it's still 100, although we set the current thirst to 50. So this is basically to update. So you can actually comment update widget progress bar. So it's basically going to update. So we can get this color, drag it in, bam. So now we have this, right? And we have increased the clean water. Now we actually need the decrease, so we can actually decrease and stuff. Once again, have another function called f decrease clean thirst, and another one called f decrease dirty thirst. So for the clean one, once again, let's have branch. If the clean thirst is less than or equal to, oh my god, if the current thirst is less than or equal to 0, so if not boolean, of course, don't forget that, plug it in. If it's true, get the current, subtract from the current one. Once again, go into the input, decrease thirst, and once again, you can go to event graph, copy basically all of these nodes, paste it in, just like that. So it basically updates. To that, we're gonna have another branch. This will be if the current thirst is less than or equal to 0, plug it in. If it's true, we're gonna have a return node of an output of no thirst. And this is going to be a boolean. So if it's true, gonna be checked. If it's false, it's not checked. And for the false one right here, it's going to be checked as well. Just like that. So it should look like this. So if it's the current thirst is less than or equal to 0, if it's not, we can subtract it, update it, once again check it. So it's really, really simple. Hopefully you understand it. So now let's go into the event graph and create a custom function called set timer decrease thirst. Just like that. Set timer decrease thirst. And we're gonna set timer by event and promote the return value into a variable called timer thirst. So now the time will be quite up to you. So you can promote that into a variable called timer time. For me, it's going to be 0.1 because I want it to be like a little bit smooth and stuff. And it's going to be loop. Now, from the event, we're gonna have a custom event called decrease thirst timer. And from the decrease thirst timer, we are going to have decrease clean thirst, this one that we just created. Now promote that into a variable, this decrease thirst, and you can actually name it like clean as well. So clean, so just so you know it's the clean water that we are decreasing. Now let's have a branch, and if it's true, so there's no thirst, we're gonna get the timer and clear from validation. Now what we're gonna do, go to begin play, get set timer decrease thirst, this one, just plug it in, go to increase clean thirst, and plug the same thing into the right here, first branch false. So first branch false. So just drag it in. And at the end of the line, this one false as well. So just plug it in. And right where it sets the current thirst to the max thirst, just drag it in. So it's like, it should look like this basically. So now what we have to do is just set the decrease clean thirst to 0.1 just for now, so we can see, just for testing purposes. The timer 0.1 should be looping, and everything should actually work. So if we play, you can see it actually decreases by 0.1 every 0.1 seconds. So it just slowly decreases. If we drink this water, it shouldn't actually do anything because we haven't set it up. So let's go to line trace. Right here, when the clean water is at the true, increase clean thirst. Promote that into a variable. This will be increase clean thirst, just like that. And let's increase it by 10. I think that's just fair. So if we play, and if we drink, you can see our bar is actually increasing. So we are losing and we are drinking at the same time. So for the increase dirty one, we are just going to get the increase clean one, alright? Get the increase clean one, drag it in into the input, and after that, we are going to go to event graph and create another timer. I know, another timer. You don't have to do it, but this is quite really optional. So we're gonna have a custom event, set timer faster thirst. No, it's a really long name. Quite up to you how you name these things. I just name it real quick. And right here, get the timer thirst and clear invalidation, so there isn't any bugs and stuff. After that, set timer by event. Once again, promote this into a variable, and this will be timer thirst 2 times. Timer 0.1, looping, event, custom event, decrease thirst 2 times. So it's basically 2 times the size. So we're gonna get the decrease thirst. So what you can do, actually rename the decrease or delete the decrease dirty thirst because we actually don't need it, and rename this one to just decrease thirst. So it just makes sense. So now you can promote that into a variable called decrease dirty thirst. So let's name it to, let's set it to 0.5. Once again, have a branch, and right here we are going to get the timer thirst and clear the validation. Just like that. So it should look like this. Go back to increase dirty thirst. Damn, I'm saying these things so much. And this will be set timer faster thirst. So we just set the timer. So now what you can do is go to launch race and plug in increase dirty thirst, just like that. And it's going to be like, let's do set it to 3. You can promote that into a variable as well. So one more thing that we have to do, go to increase clean thirst. Right here after all of this, we take the timer thirst 2 times and clear invalidation. And if we play, so now everything is hooked up, and if we play, if we play, and if we drink the clean one, as you can see, we can drink it and it goes slowly down. But if we drink the dirty one, you can see it automatically goes faster and faster down. If we drink it more, it goes more down. I drink it more to fill it up, it still goes really fast. But if I drink the clean one, it automatically goes down just a little bit. So of course the decrease 31, it's quite optional. You can add nausea to it, you can add different effects how you want it. It's quite up to you. So if you go to increase the dirty one, right here you can add different animations, different widgets and all that kind of stuff. So this was really simple, simplified for you. So if you enjoyed, consider to follow or like it or whatever, and I will see you next time.